Okay, so as they keep going, you're still going. I've said to Chris and Nick, they're just playing it out. Every option is on the table. Chris, right now, his whole thing is try to not let Nick pass his guard, get chest to chest, chest to back. If by chance a sweep, back take, or some setup gets there, that's fine. Nick has every option on the table. Good, good, I'm good with that. All right, hold that for me and just keep it right on them for right now, okay? Make sure not to hit that button, everything else. We can clip that out, but John, very responsible when it comes to camera. All right, what'd you see? Thank you. Got it. I'll make sure you get this good. So, thank you. So far, so good. What'd you see? What's that? A lot of going back and forth, like, right? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna say one thing to him, and I'm not gonna say it to Nick. We're gonna let it go again, and I just want you to see if you notice something different. Cool? Yep.
Chris, you know what it says?
All right. So you can either switch your hands and switch your feet, right? So you can do that. Okay. You can grip yourself. You can frame on yourself along those kind of lines. I want you're not allowed to make two grips. So it's one grip, one frame along those kind of lines. But again, you can grip yourself, you can frame on yourself along those kind of lines with that. Let him initiate some of that. So you're going to give him a little bit more space. Play, and you're going to work out of that. So stay in the bowl, play it the way you're doing. And so I want you to do more with less, essentially. So change your hands, change your feet. That's essentially one. You can grip yourself, you can frame yourself, and you can only maintain one grip and one frame. Okay? All right. All right, so same basic setup. Slide over a little bit more so you guys get a little bit more. Yeah. It's that way. Okay. Good. Just what I told you. Only what I told you. Only what I told you. Stay with 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 what I told you. Yep. Stay with what I told you. Easier?
Nice. Yeah.
Phil, okay, you notice something a little bit different.
Cross
What'd
my
you
feet
notice? You don't have to, don't panic, I just want, what's that?
Like Morrison's feet, like it was more like controlling. Like it's hard for him
Chris,
to pass.
Chris was doing more with his feet, right? Okay, come back. So, I'm going to say something slightly different along those same kind of lines, but, okay.
My tips.
So, hands and feet can switch. Remember, you can have your thumb point, but you can also curl, flex, and extend your toes. So if you want to curl, you can curl into that kind of stuff. So again, hands and feet can switch. You can flex and extend the wrist. One grip, only one grip with that in the frame. If you feel that you are getting overextended, I want you to value playing close guard more in the form of if you're getting extended, like you were there, let him stand up. Let him open a guard and curl yourself into a ball. Let him come in. So if you feel him completely disengage, go to a curled ball play close guard from there, have your hands in and play it from there. You're going to have access to the legs. You're going to have access to K guard, X guard, daily heave, everything from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it. What was it? Cheat code.
okay, ready? Okay. So as they're doing this, there's certain things like I'm saying to him, and there's certain byproducts of what that could be, but I'm also not telling him, like, there's more in-depth things I could tell him too, but I'm starting with this for a reason. Go back to what I said. Value what I told you. Value what I told you. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Value what I told you. Beautiful. How'd that one feel?
Yeah, it's a better focus.
Oh, it's definitely tougher.
To just go into a.
See a difference. So I'm gonna say a couple. I'll tell you what I said to him, the first one to a degree, then I'll say the second one. And even when I'm giving him these things, it's kind of like the 5 things where I would talk about in the gi, but it's a little bit harder here because he's not been around me as much lately in your youth. So I said to him, you can switch your hands and feet. So you can do this or this, you can do this or this. You can grip on yourself, you can frame on yourself, right? You can make one grip on him and like one frame along those kind of lines. So basically the same kind of stuff with that. So he makes a grip, the other hand's gotta be a frame, but be aware with the hands where everything else is going. So the first time he was doing it with you, he's doing pretty well with it and setting it up. The second one was you can do the same hands and feet, same kind of switch. He can curl the hands and he can also curl the toes. So there's something that I went over with these guys about how you flex your ankle, how you curl your, flex and extend your ankle, and I've talked to you a little bit, how you cramp your foot, because now where your thumbs point is one thing, where your toes point, play into it as well. So that way he could get some distance and play into what he was looking to do. So he could he could flex, extend, curl, he could frame, he could grip, one frame, go from there. The other thing that I said to him as like the fifth part of this, when you bunch it together, is value, like, okay, if we're playing guard, play more flexed. So I want you to be like kind of curled in, play into this. So if you're overextending, I want you to prioritize and value just get yourself back into a ball. So if you can still get them back in and flex in and get everything back in front, then you're going to do that. If you can, you stand and the guard's open, bring your legs into, like I'm giving you the explanation, bring yourself back into guard. So now you have to clear the space and how tight he is, which is when you go to pass me, you're going to have the entries, and I gave him the explanation is that you're going to have your scoop grip, your K guard, daily heave, X, everything else. The things where he did well in some of it, and he was processing it, and as you guys go back and you watch this, here's what ends up happening. So he starts with his left leg over his right, which means he's trying to get a little bit more on get to your right side. Well, let me put it this way. More on the right side, but more, or his right side more to your left leg to get scoop grip, get everything else, but his hands are switched. So it's going to create a little bit more of a control of your upper body is going to be leaning more here. And so, upper body's leaning here, legs are leaning there. So he's kind of fighting himself in the beginning as well as you're fighting yourself. I'm okay with it. It's kind of like, not great, but not great. So it equals, all right, we're not beating ourselves too bad. There's a couple times that when he would switch back and now he's got his right leg over his left and he's still trying to go a little bit to this way. Well, now you have this hip pinned in that kind of position. So you gotta be aware of now you gotta cheat it back to this side. So what he did pretty well from there is, all right, switch kind of a little bit, bring back into this side, or just be aware of, again, more right hand dominant. He extends better to the right, but you can still play in flex. So think of it for his right side, flex to extend, here, extend to flex. It's not to say you can't do stuff, but it's just follow this basic chart out of it. So the other side of it is when you're starting to play into that, as he's playing a little flex, then he starts to extend a little bit more. What I wanted him to avoid on you was get to a point when, and you start to see it is, once he starts getting extended, what did he start doing with his hands? He starts reaching. This reaching is the equivalent of the legs being like this. So it's kind of like if Nick's laying flat on his back, and just bring your legs up, okay? And we just said, all right, without me doing anything to him, he's just gotta hang out here all the time. This is like the equivalent of somebody sitting in a guard position where they're like here, like there's too much space. Well, the other side of it is maybe he's got the legs kind of in, but now the arms are reaching. So bring your arms up like you're reaching. So now you're like almost doing like a sit-up crunch. So you're getting to a point, and now the last part of it is now those legs are out longer and you have somebody inside, so you're running into yourself a little bit. Not, again, young and athletic and having good qualities of fitness, right? He's good with that. Nick might get a little tired or how we influence it, right? So well, you're in good, but what I'm saying is now when you consider like what side you're going to and how your training partner is affecting you. So like these are those kinds of things that, you know, how could he also benefit at times too? And he got away with some gifts out of this, is that when Chris, go back down, Chris is gonna go close guard on me. So if he has his right leg over his left, just your right leg over your left, good. What I know right off the bat is that if he pulls me in that way, just pull me in, boom. If I put my right leg over my left, and I do the same kind of hand setup, I'm gonna be able to pull back. Stay right there for right now. However, right leg staying over the left, so I know if I switch my feet or I cheat and I put my left leg in the middle, like I'm basing back, that guard is going to start to stretch and open. And if I take either that rotation, I back step, or I shuffle enough, that's going to open up. So anytime that right leg is over the left knee in the middle, get to your training person on bottom, their left side, to your right, and you're usually going to have an ability to start to stretch them out. So far, so good.
You can feel which leg is over?
Yes.
You can?
Yeah. It'll take some time to get there, but I'll give you we'll go over a sheet with that, okay? Now, he feels me going this way, his legs are extended, so I'm gonna back this off a little bit because tired with this, I'm gonna say, what should you do before this happens? Switch your feet, if you can, and now when he starts to pull me in, he can pull me towards his shoulder, and now you can still see he can kind of get to the outside of me. If he was looking through my ear, treat the ear like you're looking through a scope or a sight, okay? So now I feel that happen, so he's pulling me in, pull me in. So what do? I put my right leg behind my left again, I pull back, and now as I start to kind of move back here, and I get my right knee in the middle, if I go ahead and have my left leg behind my right, or I get to there's the guard that's opening up. That's why more often than not, most people are either right hand dominant, going against right hand guard players, put the right knee in the middle, look the knee cut, go that way. So if you're on bottom, and you start to pay attention to what is over what, or which way they're moving, you can usually catch people into positions where you can start getting them overextended, or they're giving you, like the easiest way I'll say, like football position, you're giving them a free play. So if he's in my closed guard, and I have my right leg over my left, and he continues to try to go this way, right? That's fine. He has, now if I pull him in, right? That's one. And then if I point my knees this way, he really has to off balance or base. So now we're starting to stretch him out. What did I have to do? Just do, go ahead and do that. Come back. Now, if he starts to go this way, I start getting extended. We don't like this. Fair to say? Cool. So now, right from here, if he keeps trying to go that way, my knees just point that way, I can start to extend, and I off balance. So the cost of the hips off balancing now means what? This has to kind of go down or go to base, right? What is he not doing to me right now? He's not getting past my legs, everything else. So he's kind of extended, I'm kind of extended. So when you are coming up on me, it makes sense, but think about it this way, right? I'm going to say specifically about somebody smaller against somebody larger, female versus male. All of his weight is going that way. So we're going to do that same one again in a second. But do I want to try to sit up into him, or do I want to kind of like go away from him? Like go in that same direction, but kind of go away. What do you think? do I want, like, think of it this way. Can I knock him over going this way?
No.
Cool. So I don't want to try to go into him, but I got all this space over here, right? Think of it like I'm filling in like concrete or like a model. So do I want to go into him or I want to go that way?
That way.
Cool.
Side.
So my right leg is over my left, right?
Yeah.
He starts going this way. And remember, I could start going and trying to knock him over, but he's aware of that, so he's going to do what? Start switching and going this way. So I switch my feet, and I can start pulling him in, and I start extending. Now, as I start extending, the more that I keep getting away, and I'm over-exaggerating it to a point, is that his hands and his base have to go. Normally, would I want to go fully extended like that? No. But what do I want you to get used to? Get the idea of don't fight water upstream. So what ends up happening now, what? Go ahead. You guys have,
Be like water.
be like water. So he starts going this way. He starts going this way. So what do? I switch my feet, I bring my hands in, and now when I switch back, I'm already outside of that arm, and now I can start deciding which way I want to go. Like I already have him knocked over. And now if he pushes back in, we can start going the other way and going back in and tying into stuff. But notice what this is doing. I'm getting outside of it. What do you need to do? I mean this with all due respect. If you're going against somebody similar size or you're bigger than them, you can get away with a little bit more upper body first, lower body second. Good? If you're about the same size, you can do either one. If you're smaller versus bigger, female versus male, lower body first, upper body second. You jump and throw the medicine ball versus trying to throw the medicine ball and lean into it. Because what ends up happening is Chris would rather have his entire body weight trying to fight this versus what you were doing to me before. You're just trying to shoulder crunch me when you have nothing. You're doing it, and if I'm an idiot and I mess up and I'm not aware of what's going on, then we're panicked, then I'm giving you like what's going to happen, right? So far so good with where I'm going with this. Okay. So the first part we talked about was if he can do guard better than me, with that position, that's beneficial to him, detrimental to me. If I'm in the bottom of side control and he can play like a better condensed guard position than me, that's beneficial to him. But if me, I'm bottom of side control, can do what he needs to do ultimately once I get out of this and do a better top side control from bottom, it's beneficial to me. So a lot of this, if you're really kind of coming back to it, is if I know the personal responsibility for myself, then if I understand the responsibility or the role of how you could influence me, and ultimately, if I have to do it, could I do what you need to do to me better than you can do to me? Then it's easy to get out of stuff. Follow where I'm going with that. Meaning, I'm trying to pull him in, so I would just say to him, here's a different kind of cue that I'm just going to say for him. You process it how you're going to process it, we'll adjust from there. Okay, I'm trying to pull you in. I'm going to try to pull you in to play good close guard, right? Guess what I'm going to tell you to do? Pull me in to play a better close guard from up top. So if I'm trying to do that, you pull me in and play a better close guard from up top. Just keep playing close, play it better. Keep going. You just focus on playing close guard on top. Better close guards on top. What I'm about to tell you, did that look a lot better and more like almost like a controlled kind of aggression of going out, right? He stayed in the pocket, right? So we're smaller, we want to be more athletic, right? Think of it like, again, I use the football way of putting it. You're going against the number one run defense. what do you still gotta do? Still gotta run the ball. And if you can at least put it on them, and we go back to that conversation when I said over there, if you do something to make me respect what you're doing, then I gotta, okay, I'm gonna play this out. So we're playing this very tight kind of game, and that's where when you look at like traditional martial arts, like Wing Chun, Filipino martial arts, and everything else that you can learn from all of these qualities of how do we redirect, or how you guys were saying about like flow like water. Dude, people could like, some of the stuff I show you, just from what I've learned from like really great people, it all ties together of you're staying in the pocket. So he stayed there until one point, I'm now either gonna have to do one of two things. One of us is gonna probably mess up, whether it's breathing, hand position, or whatever else. So I'm being responsible myself, he's being responsible. As long as he did that, that probably looked some of the best that you've actually seen him do guard on me, right? So that's where now, when I treat stuff like a football player, I'm telling you, put this leg over this leg, pull them in, get to this, because I'm gonna go, all right, regardless of how this is playing out, at some point, and even when I was starting to play in to get it on the wrist, is like, you're not gonna see me be able to fully go like, or do the, you're gonna see like something that looks like this, it's just gonna be like here, because even that motion, or if I'm here and I just slide that out, like that's gonna be kind of some of the switching that's gonna go on. Or it's as simple as like what we were doing over there. It's as simple as me doing this. This, just take your hands, put your right hand closer to you, and put your left hand on top of it. Pull that in a little bit. You can pull your legs in a little bit. You're gonna feel that you put your right leg over your left. You're gonna feel that you can pull yourself in the ball, right? Start turning your right thumb down. And keep pulling yourself in the ball. You'll feel that it starts to feel different, right? Now, as that pulls, now just switch your hands. So now your left hand's closer, you're gonna feel, I'm pulling, but I feel more in my legs, like it's harder to do, right? So now, what are we gonna do from here? I'm just gonna cheat my feet, and now if you pull, now you're gonna feel, hey, I can restabilize it. So, at the advanced side, competition side, or some of these other things, I literally scheme and scripted of we are, what guard, or what we, regardless of the position, you understand the responsibility of this hand is playing to this, to run this route, to cheat to here, because we're looking to create some kind of opening based off of how he is influenced or how he reacts. He let me get inside, so I couldn't go outside, like in to out. So it was like, again, like use a football, like a mesh or a curl in, so I'm able to get it on the wrist. So I gotta go out to in, he's giving me a space there. Now I'm playing to the wrist, because now I'm gonna go, the wrist is ultimately gonna let me kind of get to the shoulder and kick him outside. So I'm not gonna be able to roll it fully this way yet. I'm gonna roll him there, see how it plays. I get a little extension, we're gonna play back out of it. That's honestly probably the best that you've felt out of that kind of position, right? Looks a lot different, right? And what I'm gonna tell you is everything that you're learning works. Everything works. Everybody, every coach, every professor, everything works. But again, we have to go back to, does it apply in this situation, in the scenario with the resistance being applied? Meaning, I'm going for this move on Chris. Why doesn't it work? But it works on George. Is it because Chris is right hand dominant and less weight than me? Maybe that's why it works. Maybe it's your hand position the first time you did it was slightly different. So that's where, when we go through stuff, you never do a same rep twice, but like what I was saying for you is like, just stand on top, play guard on top. Don't worry about a submission, because the person will quit. When they quit, then this gets away, this gets away. Everything else that you're learning then becomes, all right, you learn 5 new techniques over 6 weeks here, right? Cool, new plays in the playbook. They work against somebody that's probably lower resistant or lower level or doesn't know, or remember what I said before, they're beating themselves. If they're beating themselves, have at it, play with it, go from there. If you have the thought processing go in your head when you go, would it work against George or Dante or Nick or Elijah, Tom, or like, no. Okay, so just know, don't call that play right now. Just don't, like, that's one option, choose your own adventure. Just don't choose that adventure now until we have enough reps of putting this all together. So the more that you play this and these kinds of things, we'll be in a
I
good.
gotta
it'll be,
go. I
yeah,
got work.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It'll be in a really good spot. Thank you. Thank you, John. It'll be in a really good spot of what move do we have to do? Yes. What position do we need to play in? Yes. How do I make sure that I can pull myself into a ball regardless of side? Right leg over left, right hand closer, pull it this way. If I had to go this way, switch it, pull it. If I want to stretch people out, because again, for you, where do you not want me?
On top.
You don't want me on top, you don't want me chest to chest, you don't want me chest to back. So if you can create some space, there becomes the side of, we'll do it this way so you can see it. So all I'm gonna do, I'm just walking you through it, is right hand towards me this way, right, I'm gonna pull him in, I'm gonna switch my hands, and I'm doing the underhook again. When you watch me do the underhook, what you're gonna see is that Chris, I'll get more to the outside of his upper body like I was doing with you guys before, but our hip level is going to be, like my hips are going to be a little bit lower than his, and by that just meaning relative position, so I'm going to have to climb my hips after. So again, upper body first, lower body second. Literally it's pull in, boom, switch. You're fine. I don't care where your hand is because I'll still get there. Left hand comes in, chop. So you'll see that I get this extension here, and with the hips now, I'm gonna have to, so now I can either go here and play out of this position. So that's one. Now, where he was going before is if he puts his left leg over his right to start, you can stay back a little bit. Like, posture back. Now, I can still, with my left over my right, and this, I can pull him to my right side. It's just not gonna be as strong as doing it the other way. I pull him in, and even if I get to this angle, I'm gonna be able to get here, and now you're gonna see I'm gonna actually get higher on his arm versus where I did before. This is pretty much by design, because now you see my legs, my hips and my shoulders a little bit more together out of this. He's naturally gonna have to base this arm. So now I take this hand, I go underneath, I pull this in, and I can either go in front. If I don't like him, I would actually go behind the head on both, and now I have both arms. I have both my arms, both this, and I'm connecting everything together. And if he tries to move, I can decide, do I pull one? So if he pulls that one arm, I just start attacking this again. If I go here, and the way that I would normally do this to really put a lot of pressure on the person, if I get the angle, will be here, pull him in, I'm gonna pull underneath, and I'm gonna take my hand behind my head. So I'm like telephoning this in, like the sprinkler dance. This is going to force him to turn, and now if he kind of tries to move, remember, I can take this and I can force where he has to go with it. This forces him to rotate down. If I want him to pull back, go ahead, start moving. I can now start to dive underneath, and now maybe I'm low on one, high on the other. I can trap both. Head can go to the mat, and now I've got both belly down, and we play into that. Last one. What's that? Pull back. But what I want you to just understand is each thing that I'm doing here is going to, just the adjustment of where I'm going is dictating how do I want to play this person. Like, again, I'm more left side dominant, so you're seeing me extend better to right. So I'm usually using this to force these guys to outside, because when they land, they usually land on their left side. So I pull them back in, I pummel, and even if I'm already here getting it, I could actually start pummeling both. And as I'm in this position, I can play out of this. So when I'm here, I just showed you all those others, I could triangle the legs. Like if I wanted him to start moving, like I could actually start going and go to like a dead orchard and bring my legs into a double armbar kind of position. But if I'm somebody bigger, or like you with this, instead of trying to triangle my legs, if you're concerned I can't get my hips that high, good. All you're gonna do is make a triangle like how you do with the arms there. So I can either go like a latch grip and pull in, and he'll tell you that it feels like both are gonna break. Or if you feel you can't do that, you just hug outside the elbows. Now if he tries to move, I'm just looking at him, and well, in a way, it kind of looks like I'm choking myself, if you think about it. So both of his hands could be on my neck, so I could always extend. I want to put more pressure. I tilt my ear towards my shoulder,
and it feels like everything's going to break. If he feels that and he turns this thumb down, I turn my hand to the other, it feels like it's going to break. And then if I really wanted to, I could walk out. And now we're attacking both again, whether I wanted to lock in. So again, I could put his head in, I can go here, but in your case, where are you? Safe. He can't do anything. Because then we can always pummel in, we can always go behind, like if he goes behind. There's now my triangle. We're really not. The challenge that comes with a lot of this though, is be willing, like this is something, that's why I'm trying to keep you guys off camera for it, because I want to be respectful of it, but this is something you guys should just do at home. What over what? And take the time of, like, this is the stuff that, again, a lot of people, what I love about like Leon, Nick, Brandon, a lot of the guys I work with, they're so into, I want to go ahead and like, I want to be world class at it. Good, we're going to focus on the hands, we're going to focus on the feet. Work on these drills when you're at home. Rep them out, think about them, do this. Good, got it. No complaints, they do it because they realize there's benefit to it. Going slow, I'm figuring this out. If you understand the responsibility you have for yourself, then you understand what these other people are going to do to you, and usually they're going to beat themselves, so let them. Can you play it out from there? Does that make sense for a lot of this stuff for you? Kind of following?
Yeah.
So when you're training with these guys, whether it's competition class or you're training live, realize you already know so much stuff, right? So I want you to do more with less. Like literally when you roll, let's say I give you a random kid. I want you to go, all right, don't worry about necessarily 5 techniques. Like I'm gonna go for arm bars, everything else, or this guard. I want you to go, I'm gonna focus on one grip, one frame. I'm gonna focus on my feet position. I want to get outside of them or keep my legs in. And I'm not gonna really lose this kind of position. That's all I'm gonna focus on. Sir, good seeing you. You getting ready?
Yeah, after a corner.
All right, have fun. Tell Nez I say kick ass, bro.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. I'll catch up with you. Oh, by the way, congratulations. Congratulations. You're brown belt.
Oh, thank you.
You're hey, soon. That's gonna be
Soon,
Professor
right.
Nick.
I know.
I'll talk to you, bro. So, like, these are those kinds of things, like, from there, if I get you in the habit of now taking stuff away, subtract. I'm giving you everything with it, subtract. Then, once you've gotten that, you're good. Now we pick 5 other things, go from there. For him in the beginning, and that's why I said before, I don't care about him with submissions. I care, can you stay on top of somebody for 2 to 3 minutes? Focus on the hand position. Thumbs face this way, they have to go this way, and you were kind of moving this way. This goes this way, they gotta go that way. Thumbs face in, your hips and shoulders can move. This faces out, you'll feel it more in the lower back. Feet, same way. My left toe comes up, I can kind of curl, go here. I wanna curl myself down, my left toe curls behind, I can kind of curl myself there. So now when you're playing guard, you can start by just flexing your ankles, and then when you get really kind of good at it, I can go, my left leg can always pull my right leg up, and if I wanna turn belly down, I curl my right foot. And now I just pull myself into that kind of position. Stuff you can just do at home, but the more that you do it, you're gonna show up here, and then it's like, what move are you gonna do? You don't care. You're movement agnostic, you're guard agnostic, you care about keeping yourself safe all the way through it. Anything else that you want covered? Are you good with all this? Good, 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 good. Always remember, I got your back. You can stop it.